Our first reading covers the years 1876 to 1886. Manifold benefits of active out-of-door life. It would be well for you to lay by your perplexing cares and find a retreat in the country where there is not so strong an influence to corrupt the morals of the young. Country Living, page 16, paragraph 2. True, you would not be entirely free from annoyances and perplexing cares in the country, but you would there avoid many evils and close the door against a flood of temptations which threaten to overpower the minds of your children. They need employment and variety. The sameness of their home makes them uneasy and restless, and they have fallen into the habit of mingling with the vicious lads of the town, thus obtaining a street education. Country Living, page 16, paragraph 3. To live in the country would be very beneficial to them. An active, out-of-door life would develop health of both mind and body. They should have a garden to cultivate, where they might find both amusement and useful employment. The training of plants and flowers tends to the improvement of taste and judgment, while an acquaintance with God's useful and beautiful creations has a refining and ennobling influence upon the mind, referring it to the Maker and Master of all. Testimonies, Volume 4, page 136, 1876. Country Living, page 16, paragraph 4. 1882. The perils of the cities. Few realize the importance of shunning, so far as possible, all associations unfriendly to religious life. In choosing their surroundings, few make their spiritual prosperity the first consideration. Country Living, page 5, paragraph 1. Parents flock with their families to the cities because they fancy it easier to obtain a livelihood there than in the country. The children, having nothing to do when not in school, obtain a street education. From the evil associates, they acquire habits of vice and dissipation. The parents see all this, but it will require a sacrifice to correct their error, and they stay where they are until Satan gains full control of their children. Country Living, page 5, paragraph 2. Better sacrifice any and every worldly consideration than to imperil the precious souls committed to your care. They will be assailed by temptations and should be taught to meet them, but it is your duty to cut off every influence, to break up every habit, to surrender every tie that keeps you from the most free, open, and hearty committal of yourselves and your family to God. Country Living, page 5, paragraph 3. Instead of the crowded city, some seek retired situation where your children will be, so far as possible, shielded from temptation, and there train and educate them for usefulness. The prophet Ezekiel thus enumerates the cause that led to Sodom's sin and destruction. Open quote, pride, fullness of bread, and abundance of idleness was in her and in her daughters. Neither did she strengthen the hands of the poor and needy. Close quote. All who would escape the doom of Sodom must shun the course that brought God's judgment upon that wicked city. Testimonies, Volume 5, pages 232 and 233, 1882. Country Living, page 5, paragraph 4. 1885. The signal for fleeing. It is no time now for God's people to be fixing their affections or laying up their treasure in the world. The time is not far distant when, like the early disciples, we shall be forced to seek a refuge in desolate and solitary places. As the siege of Jerusalem by the Roman armies was the signal for flight to the Judean Christians, so the assumption of power on the part of our nation in the decree enforcing the papal Sabbath will be a warning to us. It will then be time to leave the large cities preparatory to leaving the smaller ones for retired homes in secluded places among the mountains. And now, instead of seeking expensive dwellings here, we should be preparing to move to a better country, even a heavenly. Instead of spending our means in self-gratification, we should be studying to economize. Testimonies, Volume 5, page 464 and 465, 1885. Country Living, page 32, paragraph 1. Enlarge and expand, but not at a center. The people are encouraged to center in Battle Creek, and they pay their tithe and give their influence to the building up of the modern Jerusalem that is not after God's order. In this work, other places are cut off from facilities which they should have. Enlarge ye, spread, yes, but not in one place. Go out and establish centers of influence in places where nothing or next to nothing has been done. Break up your consolidated mass, diffuse the saving beams of light, and shed light into the darkened corner of the earth. Testimonies to Ministers, page 254 and 255, 1895. Country Living, page 24, paragraph 1. 1886. Arkansas. Adventist charge for Sunday law breaking imprisoned. And this is in italics, so it was not in the original text. Various Adventists charged for Sunday law breaking by doing things such as painting, plowing, and planting on Sunday in the state of Arkansas. Page 877, appendix of, quote, Two Republics, end quote, Alonzo T. Jones, 1891, ed. And this is the end of our first chapter.